In this practice 1, we have to carry out 2 creative pieces of work taking as leitmotif 2 of the 3 proposed themes: otherness, stereotype, and uncertainty. One of the chosen themes has to be represented with traditional materials and following the mode of work that artists developed in one of the movements of 20th century art, and the other using techniques that artistic movements have used over the last 50 years. The first piece of work is based in term uncertainty, with traditional materials and following the mode of work that artists developed in one of the movements of 20th century art. The best way I could think of to express this concept of the decision we have to make through life was by making a collage with the arrows pointing in all directions. And for this I wanted to use different materials to represent that each decision we make has a consequence and that they are different but none better or worse than another. All of them are yellow because it's associated with negative emotions such as distrust, and the arrows I decided to draw them in black, that is associated with them, with the unknown. The creative process I followed to make it: firstly, I looked at the material that I was going to use that were everything that I saw in yellow color: cardboard, felt, silk paper, pattern paper, yellow folio, various fabrics, plastics, plastic plates, cardboard bag. Then, taking into account the measure of the A3 canvas, I start to make the arrows using the materials. And finally, I make the collage by sticking them in the A3 canvas. The second piece of work performed is related to the term stereotypes, using technique that artistic movements have used over the last 50 years. What I wanted to show with this work is that in the whole world there are many people, more than 8,000 million people according to figures from the Census Bureau, and that each of them is different and has its essence. Additionally, labels can cause people to assume roles and expectations that do not reflect who they really are. Instead of labeling, we should try to understand people as a whole, respect their individuality, and recognize the diversity that enriches our society. I decided to use a stand with a lot of people to convey that we need to be different and to love ourselves just as we are. And the detail of editing the photo and putting a person in the center in black and white seemed like a good idea to emphasize it and see that the stereotype should not stand out among the crowd. The creative process was fairly to make the association with the stereotype motto that was, unless you're true essence and break the imposed labels, don't be like the rest expected you to be. Then, I went to across the street and took the photograph, and finally put the person with the sweatshirt in black and white. My personal conclusion about this practice has been that with art, you can also represent sad and depressive things, since before taking this subject, I saw art as something beautiful, good, colorful, but I have realized that art is not just that. The word art is very broad and encompasses beyond everything beautiful in life. The disasters, the horrible, the ugly, all of that also has its place and its way of representing it as art. And to conclude this video, I would like to do so with a quote related to a student from Pablo Picasso. All children are born artists. The problem is how to continue being artists when we grow up.